Okay. So my alarm went off there and cut off the video. So like I was saying, a hectare of land is 10,000 square meters. The cassava farmland that I have or had at the time, it's no longer a farmland. We're doing something else with it now. Was about a third. So it's 33 to 3,500 square meters. I was paying, and for cassavas, you have to weed and clear and clean the land twice a year. So for six laborers, for six people, every time they went out to clear that land, I was paying about 30,000 naira. So twice a year, you are looking at 60,000 naira to clear a third of a hectare of land twice a year. 60,000, not 600,000, 60,000. So if you have 3.6 hectares, let's just say 4 hectares of land, and you are paying 2.5 million naira, that is quite a bit. It really is a lot. But then again, where are you? You did not say. My land is in my homestead, in my village, in Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria, where labor is cheap. Obviously, the land is smaller. But at the end of the day, paying 2.5 million just to clear the land is on a high side for me, from my experience. So now, you got to do the math. You are now into this land. Obviously, you did not tell me how much you paid for the land. But already, with just the clearing and planting of the oil palm tree, you're already in it 2.5 million naira. Already in it. Before you even make a dime, you're already in this 2.5 million naira, in addition to the cost of the land. So you are already in the red zone at this point. Very, very deep in the red zone at this point. So now you said you are in the phase of planting cassava. And I find the cost to be too exorbitant. Isn't that what I just said? I have already spent 600,000 naira on the cassava stem, tilling and planting, and wondering if it's too much. Okay? I'm going to skip here. Now you said a bundle of cassava stem is 4,000 naira with the max of 45 stems in a bundle. Okay. Again, where are you? Which part of Nigeria are you? When I bought my bundle of cassava stem, I only paid 1,000 naira, and I bought about, let's say about 10, 11 or 12 bundles. In addition to that, I paid them the cost of keke. These are like the 3-wheel bikes to transport the bundles from the seller to the farm. So I'm in at 1,000 naira per bundle. You're buying yours at 4,000 naira per bundle. Again, I'm not going to say if it's expensive or not, depending on where you are, the location of this farm, and the location of this stem. Did you have to transport the cassava stems from far away to your farmland? You didn't say. So I'm not really going to, 4,000 is a little bit expensive, but it's not, but I kind of guess it's okay. It's something that I would pay depending on where you are. Okay, so that is not too bad. Okay, so I'm gonna now go back to where he said that he's already spent 600,000 on the cassava, and he said, I'm currently an absentee farmer and my dad is helping. This is the part that killed me. Is your father a farmer? Does your father have agricultural experience? And in the sense that your dad helping, in what way is he helping? Is he helping as an advisor? Is he helping as a consultant? Is he helping as a financier or an investor in your operation? Now, already you are mixing family. You're mixing someone that's very, very close and dear to you, your father, into this business, which is usually a no-no. It's something that I advise. If you are going to get into business, guys, pay very close attention to this. You can go in partnership, in business partnership. If you are a man watching this, you can, okay, to go in business partnership with your spouse, your wife, and your children. If you are the woman and you are the operator, it is okay to go into a business partnership in Nigeria with your husband or your children. Never, ever, ever go into a business partnership with your dad, your mom, your brothers and sisters. That is a recipe for disaster. That is a recipe for disaster. Partner with your spouse who has a common interest and a common goal in your welfare. Your children who are the beneficiaries of your assets anyway. Those are the people that it's okay. Family members. When I talk about family members, that's what I mean. A spouse and your children. Don't go into a business, especially in Nigeria. Don't go into a business partnership with your parents or your brothers and sisters. So now you're saying that your father is helping. And now this is the part where fire, already your father is helping, is already fire, turns into inferno. When you said he doesn't like it when I ask questions, especially on purchases of cassava stem. Already, isn't that a red flag for you already? He's already giving you pushback. Hey, listen, I'm sure you love your father, you love your mother. There's nothing wrong with loving your parents, but you don't necessarily have to be in business with your parents. Keep them at arm's length. Keep them far away. You know, you can ask for advice. You can ask for feedback, but that's usually where you should end it. Mixing your parents into your business operations almost always doesn't end well. So he's already asking questions. Already he's telling you that I'm not comfortable with you talking to me about money. I'm not comfortable. Your money. I'm pretty sure it's your money. I'm not comfortable with you questioning procurement. I'm not questioning. And if he's already, think about this for a second. If he's already having issues with you questioning him about ordinary cassava stems, what about when you get into agricultural machineries that are in the millions? What do you think is going to happen then? Is he going to tell you jump and you say how high with your money? So these are things that you gotta think. He's already in this mix with his dad, okay? But it doesn't mean that he can't get out of it. Yes, he'll be upset with you for a while. But I think in the long run, it's just gonna be in your best interest to remove your father or your mother from your businesses. The only person that I'm in business with are 3 people. My wife of 7 years and our 2 daughters. One is 5 years old, the other is 2 years old. Those are the 3, and we are all equal owners. My wife and I own 50% of the company. We split it 25%. And our daughters, Jeanette and Nellie, own 25% each of our company. So this is a 100% family-owned operation here. You see how I'm keeping it in the family? In my immediate family? No brother is involved. No sister is involved. Parents are not involved. If we want to use people, we contract people out to do certain things in our business. We don't involve friends. We don't involve family. I'm telling you, you're going to sleep better at night, and it's just going to be for the betterment of your organization altogether. Because now, in our case, Once our company gets to where we know it could be, it's still 100% owned. And when my wife and I are gone from this world, our shares or our ownership will transfer to our daughters. So you're keeping it in your family, which is something that a lot of Nigerians don't really think about, because we tend to operate with emotions in Nigeria. Oh, what is it? What is this person going to think? Or what is that person going to think? Let me do it this way to please this person, or do it that way to please that person. You gotta start thinking like a business operator that you are. That is how you are going to be able to separate yourself as a practitioner from those who are pretending to be business operators. Okay? So, like I said, he said he doesn't like it when I ask questions, especially in cassava stems. And then he says, I handle the laborers' food and transport to and from the farm. Do you think this is cheap, or do I think it's expensive? You know, you are, at this point, you are so far into this process that I can't tell you to get out of it. You've already committed to 3.6 hectares of land. You've already sunk in the 2.5 million naira on the clearing of the and planting of the oil palm. And then you sunk in another 600K. Now you are at 3.1 mil. We are not even talking about the cost of the farmland. Because 3.6 hectares, I don't think it's something people gift people. You probably bought that. You are so deep into this that I'm just going to say, continue with it. At least go through your first harvest with the cassavas. Once you harvest that, sell off that crop. Don't even worry about making money. Just worry about at least recouping your cost or breaking even. And then continue on with, turn your 3.6 hectares of land into just strictly oil palm trees. Especially as an absentee owner. Strictly oil palm trees. And become the best oil palm plantation owner in that region. When you are handling the laborers' food, we don't, if I give you food as a laborer, I'm giving it to you. If I'm feeding you as a laborer, I'm feeding you out of my own free will. It's not a must. Food generally in Nigeria is not too expensive. So you can do that. It's okay. But it's not mandatory. You're doing it because you want to, because it makes you feel like a better operator. It's okay to feed your laborers. But the danger is when it becomes, when they've started feeling entitled to it. You see, and that is why you gotta, for those of you who are getting into something like this, make sure that you negotiate. If I'm advising you and you are starting out, negotiate that food is not included. Food is not included in their fee. Okay? They'll negotiate their laborer's wage, what have you. Food is not included. And now, transportation to and from the farm. How far are you transporting these people? How many people are there? Are you busing them? Are you leasing this bus? Are you giving them public transportation? How are you getting them from point A to point B and back? And is this something that you can sustain throughout the course of a year or years to come? Fellow investors, fellow Nigerians, fellow operators, especially those who are abroad, operating in Nigeria. Do not go broke And again, I'm not saying that this gentleman is doing this. Everyone, obviously, Nigerians are proud people. People want to say, oh, I have 3.6 hectares, I have 10 hectares of land, I'm a cassava farmer, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Are they really doing well? As a smart business operator, you can't impress. Your job is not to impress people. I'm not saying you are. Your ultimate goal is to, number one, not lose money, and number two, to run a profitable business. You gotta really respect the value of the dollar, especially you based in America. Nigerians may not value naira, but you gotta value the dollar. You gotta value it. So you're looking at all this laborers, food, and transportation to and fro. Is it a must? Could you find local laborers there who could maybe ride their bike to the farm or walk to the farm and work for you? Do you have to transport people there? You understand what I mean? In this case, if you are, you didn't mention how much you are spending. My phone went off there on this. So at this point, you closed it with, do you think this is cheap or expensive? At this point, based on what I've seen so far, without doing a deeper dive into your expenditures, you are on the expensive side, brother. You are really on the expensive side, because now you got to think about it. Even if you were to harvest 1.6 hectares of cassava, do you know how much cassava is sold now per metric ton? Last time I checked, it was, I think, 150,000 naira per metric ton. 150K. You're not even going to scratch the surface of recouping your cost. You're already 3.1 mil into this. You didn't mention how much you're paying the laborers. You didn't talk about what you're paying to transport these guys. And you're already 3.1 mil into this operation. It's going to take you at least 4 years for the oil palm trees for you to be able to harvest and sell those. Forget about making money on cassavas, because I'm telling you, depending on how you are harvesting this, you are going to lose at least 50% of your cassava crops during harvest. Is your land fair? I mean, you're talking about let me just say you are using 1.6 hectares of land for cassava. Is it fenced? Do you know how much it costs to fence that kind of a land around to keep goats and sheep away? At this point, you are already in this. So you are going to take a big loss. You are going to take a big loss on this. Just based on what I'm saying at a very surface level, you are going to take a big loss. But once you take that loss, once you absorb that impact, stop cultivating cassavas and focus exclusively on your oil palm trees. That is a long tail business. That is something that we are even considering moving into at some point. But now we've pivoted, we've changed our business model now, where we are getting away from farming and focusing just on food processing. So, man, I hope you don't take this as if I am attacking you, because I'm not. I'm just sharing my opinion from one operator living abroad and operating in Nigeria to another operator such as yourself living in the United States and operating in Nigeria. Start looking at your expenditures. Look at your expenses. Figure out ways to cut costs. Maybe go back and renegotiate with your labor. They may not like it and say, I can't feed you anymore. We can't feed. This feeding has to stop. And if they don't like that, you got to look for people that you can negotiate with who are just going to come and do their job and go home, as opposed to them being entitled or waiting for you to feed them. There are so many ways for you to do this, but again, it's not easy because you are not in Nigeria. You are here in America doing business in Nigeria. It's not the same as somebody who is local there on the ground doing business there. So I really hope this helps, man. Like, again, continue doing what you're doing. Don't give up. I mean, you are just starting out. It looks like you're just starting out. You're still gaining your experience. You're still trying to find your footing. You're still trying to find your lane. You're still trying to find your voice in this agricultural endeavor. But do one thing. Focus on that oil palm plantation. If you don't take anything else away from this, take that away from this. Just do the oil palm plantation once you harvest your cassavas. Don't go into cassavas. Cassava is a poor man's. You can't get rich as a cassava. You can't. You just, I've been there. You just can't get wealthy as a cassava farmer. You can get wealthy as an oil palm plantation owner. Okay. Hope this helps, guys. I gotta run. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to this video and share it with anyone that you think can benefit from it. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. All the best. Bye-bye.